and have a patient who's been my patient for a few years. She has MS, multiple sclerosis, and so she has a lot of body pain and tingling and weakness and that kind of thing. And I sent her to Diane to use her far-infrared sauna because I thought she could really benefit from the detox, and I wanted her to be able to use it consistently. So I thought Diane would have the perfect setup. And so she came and did her 1 month follow-up, and she was like, oh my God, something's happening, like something's doing something. And this is a patient who has 2 naturopaths, a chiropractor, and acupuncturist, and I'm one of her naturopaths and I do massage on her. So for her to say something is happening, it really kind of made me pay attention. It was so weird. The part where my back's really stuck, it started to pop and my pain started to get less, and I thought, well that's kind of weird. So then I kept using it just to see what was going to happen, and I also started using it on patients. And by the time, I think it was like, I had Diane's mat for three weeks. So by the time the 3 weeks was done, I had pretty much no upper back pain. I try not to pay attention to it, but in the morning, I think of myself pretty healthy. I do yoga, I exercise, I eat well. But every morning when I got up, when I fed the cat, I'd have to do this with her food, and then if I had to get my scale, that was even worse. If I wanted to weigh myself in the morning, I have to reach forward, and pull the scale forward to get it. And it was so frustrating because I thought, well, God, this shouldn't be happening. I mean, I'm doing everything that I know of how to do. I get massage regularly, I take really good care of myself. I feel like I'm getting so old before my time, and I wonder, the mat's helping me with my upper back, but I wonder if it'll help me with my low back. So by the time I had to give the mat back at 3 weeks, I snuck in an extra week, my low back had started to feel better. Like I had started to not think about it when I fed my little cat, So then I thought about it and talked to my boyfriend. I had him try the mat. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just me, But by the time, a couple more weeks passed, my low back pain started coming back. I thought, you know what, I gotta get that crazy mat. I haven't even read the literature or done enough, anything, but it's $4,000. But I don't care. It did something. I have 20 years experience in the healing arts with a focus on chronic pain. And even if I don't understand why it works, I know that it does something. My boyfriend also has low back pain. Kind of a similar situation to me. I told him, well, you can have the mat for a month. Your set I'm going to rent out. So, but I'll let you have it for a month, to see if it does anything on you. It'd be my little test case. So he started using it, and he uses the pad more. So he probably used the pad more than the mat. It was more convenient for him. But after about a month, he said, oh my God, I think it's doing something. I think it's making my low back better. And by then, I had read more of the literature. And the literature said that if you have DJD, which both my boyfriend and I have, which is degenerative joint disease, and it's basically osteoarthritis, where you're just over time your disc space narrows and you get bony overgrowths and stuff. And for us, my boyfriend and I, it just happened for us sooner, because I had a car accident. He jumped out of planes and fell off his motorcycle. He's a tough case, but I hope he's not going to see this video. But anyway, I read in the literature that if you actually want to work on the discs, and regenerate chondrocytes that help nourish the discs, then you really need to be using the mat regularly for 3 to 4 months. So I said, okay, you can have the mat for 3 to 4 months, and then you'll really be a test case better. We do yoga together, and we were in class the other day, and he did a full hero's pose. And I don't know if anybody here knows what that is, but you sit on the ground with your butt between your heels. And my version of hero's pose is where I'm kind of like this, with my hands down, and maybe if I'm really flexible that day, I can go down to my elbows. So It's a really deep back bend. So I look over and my boyfriend is suddenly in full hero's pose, which he's never ever done before. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope I don't have to get up and help him get up. When we get home, that's like an hour of work now I got to do on him, you know. So he, you know, after class, I'm like, oh my God, you did a full hero's pose. How did that happen? He said, I haven't been able to do that in years, like years. And he said, I think it's from the mat with it. And then I also have used it on patients. So I've had different responses from patients. I do a lot of body work. So usually I have the mat on the table, so they are both getting massage and the mat if they want to use the mat. And I run the mat on a 24-minute cycle, either on 25 or on 10. And so I've had some people who said, well, I don't really feel anything. Well, you obviously don't really feel anything when you use the mat. But it sounds interesting, so you can just do it on me. So I have had a lot of takers for trying the mat. And some people, they haven't noticed really anything. But then I've had other people who said, you know, Jackie, I always love your massage, but it was just extra relaxing today. So I've had several people say that. I don't know what it is, maybe it's the mat, you know. And then I have one patient who had a really bad meniscus tear. It's so bad that she is actually going to have surgery. And she's been my patient for several years. I've done lots of body work on her. And so I had been doing body work on her knee just to help her get along before she could get the surgery. And I tried the mat on her, and I finally felt like I knew enough about the PMF that I could branch out and use the wand, the probe. And so I said, you know, you want me to try that on you? And so we did, and she comes to me now like once every week because she's getting ready for her surgery. And even after the first time I used the wand, I call it the wand, I couldn't believe it. Actually, I could see the difference in her swelling. You know, I thought, was it just me? You know, she's like, no, I think it actually did something. So we've continued to use it on her knee. And then she also, in the last couple of weeks, sprained her foot. So she had a bunch of swelling in her foot. We tried it on her foot, and the same thing happened. I mean, you know, so it was great. It really, you know, it actually has done something. So she's probably been the patient that I've seen the most, like, actual kind of objective results on.